Hey guys, it's me Andy back on Science, and today I'm going to be shooting a video on the episode 3 of 1A4 challenge, in which we're going to be making this guy, which is a spaceship from Project HailMary, which is the spaceship from Project HailMary book, and this book's pretty awesome, so I wanted to make this guy, and this was not suggested by anyone. I just wanted to make it, and if you can put it in 3 fingers, which makes it look like the symbol from Hunger Games. Yeah, so here's the 3D model, which I'll be doing using just one single A4. Actually, it took exactly one A4 paper and nothing more, nothing less. And I'm quite excited to show you guys how I made it, but it was a bit tougher than I had anticipated, because I went there thinking like it looks simple, so it must be easy, but nah. The curves, the cone shapes were pretty hard to get down. Also, here's how the real thing looks, and here's my version of it. I might say it looks fine. It looks alright, considering I used only a single A4 paper. So yeah, that's about it. Let's get right into the tutorial bit. Hey guys, this is me, Andy, back on A Science Street, and today I am going to be shooting a video on a science project. It's not really a science project, it's straight out of a science fiction book, Project HailMary by Andy Weir. This is what I'm reading right now. I've reached like this, page 362 out of probably 400 pages, 470 pages, and this book is, I'm not kidding, this is one of the best things I've read. And if you've like watched the Martian movie, this is from the same author, and I've heard the movie may come out for this book, and if it does, I hope it's a big dub, because if it isn't, it's the director's fault, because the plot here is perfect. I enjoyed it a lot, and today I'll be making this guy, the real Project HailMary itself, the space shuttle. I can't remember if it does have a name. Oh my god, I've read the whole book and I don't remember the spaceship name. I think it's Project HailMary. I don't think there's a different name for it. Anyways, I'm not gonna spoil anything. The airlock right there is a pretty important part in the whole series. I recommend you guys give it a read. And so yeah, we're gonna be making this. Let's ignore this because we're not going to be making a fully functional thing. It's gonna require tiny bars like that. Not possible. So we will make a 3D replica of our HailMary rocket ship using just a single A4. So this is the second episode of the 1A4 challenge, where I use a single A4 to craft something straight out of a science fiction book. It doesn't necessarily have to be a science fiction book, it can be anything. So if you got any suggestions, do let me know in the comments. I'll use one A4 to recreate that. And yeah, please don't suggest something big, because I won't be able to make large things out of just a single A4. Anyways, I'll put this aside somewhere you can see, like probably here, so I can reference it now and then. Okay, it's in frame right there, perfect. Now let's use our trusty little A4, and we will start with the center part right there, the center cylinder. Now this is all a bunch of cylinders and cones, so it is an easier task. So about that big of a cylinder. It's in black and white. I don't know if there's any color, but they said it's made out of aluminium on the outside, so it's gotta be silver. I'll use a single A4 because there are no silver A4s out there. Cylinder not ready. We have a rectangle. Now let's shape it in a cylindrical shape like this. Okay, too small. Yep, this is exactly it. Now once we have this ready, we can add some designs, I think. For that we may need to flatten up the entire thing first. Yeah, let's do that, why not? So I'll use my trusty alcohol marker for this, and I need to make one straight line right there, a tiny straight line right there, another, a fat one, and then I know this is supposed to be on the inside, but it looks cool when it's on the outside, the ladders. Okay, next up we need markers to make sure where we're coming from. It's right there. Now this challenge does not come with any time limits, but I'm gonna say I'll try and finish this within 20 minutes. Cool. So it doesn't line up perfectly right there. Now since it doesn't line up perfectly right there, we're gonna cover it up with this. I should probably cut right here so you don't have to watch me draw the whole thing. This 1 acre challenges are really fun to make. I recommend you guys genuinely try it because it limits your capacity, more of like a limit. Does that make sense? And when humans feel limited, they do try to make the most out of the least. So that's what's happening here. I'm trying to focus more on the details than I used to in the past, which is a good thing, I think. There it is. The main cylinder is ready. Oh, the airlock. How can I forget the airlock? Let's make the airlock down here. Now comes the cone. Well, with the beetles. There's the beetles. It's not really a rocket part, it's more from the this guy, from this specific book. It's the tiny drones. How do we make a cone exactly this shape? I mean this size? I have no idea. But I think we're gonna start with a square shape in the beginning. Oh, by the way, we're moving on to the top control room area. It's a pretty new book. I think it's from 2020. Andy Weir published it then, but I can't really remember. So first up we need a square. It's like a 45-degree triangle, like an isosceles, right angle isosceles triangle. So if that's the case, then I think about this big of a circle will make sense. Now this is one way to cut circles out. It's more of an oval, more than a circle. So we'll shorten it up. Nice, that's a pretty nice circle. Okay, let's make it into a cone. No. Yeah, that's nice. That works. Should we tape it? And then we figure out how much of an extra space there is that needs to be cut. So that big. Now this should, yep, there it is. It still doesn't fit perfectly in there. It's trying to, but it's still too big. So let's make it even smaller. I'll work on this for a few minutes and I'll see you when it's done. Alrighty, so then I've returned after a few minutes and the main basic rocket is complete. Everything that remains is to make this guy, which is entirely a fuel tank. I don't know why fuel tanks are the hardest. Oh, I shake the camera once more. I've done this like 20 times today. So let's work on the tiny cylinders first, then we'll figure out how to make the giant cone. Or maybe let's do the cone first. Yes, let's do the cone first. So I think this is basically just a large cone shape, conical shape. So this shouldn't be a problem if I think what it is. So for that we're gonna use a big circle. Starting with a big piece of square paper, I'll use my pencil to draw a circle. That doesn't work. Okay, that's a nice circle. That's one way to do it, if you don't want to do this technique. So there's one circle, yeah, nice. I'll do it a bit bigger than that because obviously that's too small. I'll borderline cut it. Then you just want to make another one large piece of cone. This time a bit bigger than this guy. Oh, I still haven't figured out the center. Find out. I think the center is right there. Like 2 minutes, but yes, it's ready. So the top part of the fuel tank is ready. It's not a conical shape, so that's why I was having a hard time figuring out. But since it's done, wait a minute, maybe this is better. No, it's fine. Yeah, I don't want to tweak with it anymore. It will ruin the entire thing. So next up is going to be the tiny 3 cylinders on the bottom. It's not really tiny. I say tiny ironically, but it's totally not tiny. So I need to divide. This is the last piece of paper, except I've got one more right here. So I gotta divide this in 3 equal parts. And if I mess this up, there's no going back. I've lost the 1A4 challenge. The day I lose 1A4 challenge is going to be the day I don't know, there's no punishment for me. Okay, you guys can decide on a punishment, what I'll do if I lose the 1A4 challenge. I resized the cone once more, and now it fits perfectly in there. So all that's left is to stick these 3 fuel tanks with the top conical fuel tank, which with the real rocket itself, to finally finish our project HailMary. Thank God this ship doesn't have like AIs or whatever, because otherwise I bet there'd be like space hands, robot hands coming out of the ship. This is not Space Odyssey, at least. Space Odyssey is awesome, by the way. I don't mean to trash on it. Okay, so that's our rocket. Pretty cool. That looks exactly like the real thing, except the fuel tank. I'm still not impressed with the fuel tank. But it is what it is, so I'll just have to tape it in there. Inside there. And then the other side. And finally the centers. Okay. That was, it may, on the outside, it may just look like a bunch of cylinders and cones. That is exactly how I thought it was gonna be at the beginning, but I don't know any mathematics to make these cones perfectly line up, so I had a hard time. But there is our project Hail Mary. It does not look like the real thing, but well, there's nothing I can do about it anymore. It was a challenge and I failed. Partially. No, I didn't fail. I don't want to fail right now. Considering I just used a single A4 paper, I think I did decent. So it's not really a fail. Okay, this goes at the back of my room. It's a good compliment because I store my good stuffs at the back. This will be a nice decoration. Alright, that's it. That's my project Hail Mary ready. And there's a lot of waste paper right there. So there it is. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you got some inspiration to do some paper crafts. And if you did, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment me down below what should I do next in my next video, and share my videos. Thank you. Bye bye.